Thinking about moving to Tucson, Arizona? A lot of people see the sunshine and see the mountains and think it's a perfect place. And in many ways it is. But today we're going to be going over the challenges of living in Tucson as well. Hi, I'm Elijah Roth. I'm a local Tucson realtor. I'm born and raised in Tucson, Arizona, working with Omni Homes, and love to help people relocate to Tucson, Arizona. So I specialize in relocation and first-time buyers. So I'd love to work for you. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in Tucson, please look at my contact details below. So give me a call, shoot me a text. I can answer any time of the day. And today I'm breaking down the 5 pros and cons of living in Tucson, Arizona with some insider details, some local details, and some things that people won't tell you before you move here. So stay till the end to hear the last one. Pro number 1, weather and outdoor lifestyle. So many people don't know this, but Tucson actually gets more sunny days throughout the entire year than San Diego and Honolulu, Hawaii. That means it's one of the sunniest places in the United States. And that's also why a lot of people will escape to Mount Lemmon in the summertime. It's about a 45-minute drive from the base of Mount Lemmon all the way to the top, and it's going to be around 10 to 20 degrees cooler depending on what time of the year that is. And during the summertime, you'll see even a bigger jump than that. It could be 110 degrees in Tucson and 75 degrees at the top of Mount Lemmon. So a lot of people will love to go to Mount Lemmon during the summer for a quick little retreat, get away from the heat. In the wintertime, you can literally ski on the top of Mount Lemmon, drive down by the afternoon time, and then golf in sunny weather in Tucson. So that's one of the cool things about living in Tucson. And that brings us to the con number 1, which is the summer heat. And the summer heat in Tucson is very, very real. It's one of the biggest reasons why people don't move here, why people move away, is they just can't take the heat for those 3 months during the summer. And a lot of times in the summertime, you'll see cars overheated on the side of the road. Many people will carry a whole gallon of water in their car just in case someone's stranded on the side of the road, or if they get stranded themselves. So the heat will take a major toll on you during the summer. With a lot of days, reaching 110, especially this past summer, I think it got a little bit hotter than previous years. You're gonna see 110 multiple days a week. Pro number 2, cost of living. In Tucson, the median price of a home right now is around $360,000. Here's a Tucson specific bonus. New construction is still happening at the edges of town, especially in Vail, Marana, and Oro Valley. So you can buy a brand new home for under 400 grand. And that is something that is nearly impossible to do in Phoenix. So that is a big pro of moving to Tucson. And property taxes here are about half the national average. Con number 2, job market and wages. Here's a challenge. Tucson's job market can feel a little bit limited. The biggest employers are the University of Arizona, Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, and Raytheon Missiles and Defense. And this does account for a big part of the job force in Tucson. But outside of that, there aren't a whole ton of big corporations providing jobs. There are also a lot of healthcare jobs. There are a couple major hospitals in Tucson. You have University Medical Center, Tucson Medical Center. You also have Carondelet. You have a couple other hospitals in Tucson, and that accounts for another big sector of jobs in the job force. But if you're not in healthcare, if you're not in science, if you're not in engineering, you may find fewer options moving to Tucson. Pro number 3, food and culture, my favorite one. Tucson's food scene is amazing. We're the first UNESCO City of Gastronomy in the US. I believe El Paso just became the second one. But this region has 4,000 years of continuous farming history. You can still buy food grown from ancient grains like tepary beans at local farmers markets. There are so many good Mexican dishes out here that you will not find anywhere else. I've lived in a couple other states, California and Arkansas, and still to this day, I don't think there's a better food scene in the country than Tucson, Arizona. And I've been to a lot of states. I've probably been to 38 states. And I might be a homer on this, but I love the food scene in Tucson, Arizona. You have Sonoran hot dogs. If you're just visiting Tucson, you have to try a Sonoran hot dog, great carne asada, great tamales, and so much more. And the best ones come from the you're gonna see little roadside stands everywhere, serving Sonoran hot dogs, tacos, all kinds of Mexican food. but you're gonna see them every 2 or 3 street corners. And my favorite is El Cianolis, especially if you're going downtown or you're going out to a club or anything, going to a show downtown. You're gonna see food trucks galore outside when you finish up, and it's gonna be Sonoran hot dogs, taco stands, everything like that. And it's gonna be some of the best. Con number 3, limited big city amenities. So if you're coming from a big city, you'll notice it's a lot quieter here, which is a good and bad thing. Streets are gonna be relaxing. You don't have all the highway traffic because there's only one highway on the very west side of town. But if you're looking for professional sports or you wanna go catch an MLB game or an NBA game, you're gonna have to drive an hour and a half to 2 hours to Phoenix to go see the Mercury, the Arizona Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, Phoenix Suns. It also is the cool part of Tucson is that you have the University of Arizona in your backyard, and it kind of takes over the whole city during football and basketball season. It's what makes Arizona basketball and football so popular. And McKale Center seats about 14,000 seats, but most games it's completely sold out. Most bars and restaurants around town are gonna be playing the games, and it just becomes a really, really cool environment where everyone's cheering on the Wildcats. Pro number 4, commute and traffic. So I was kind of alluding to this a little bit earlier, but Tucson's only got one highway called I-10, and it's on the west side of town, the very west side of town. And you're only going to be using this highway if you live in that area. If you live central to the east side of town, the only time you're going to be using I-10 is to get around on the west side, or if you're traveling up to Phoenix. But short commutes are one of the biggest perks of living in Tucson. You can get to about anywhere in Tucson within 20 to 30 minutes. And traffic becomes a lot more predictable in Tucson because one car crash doesn't just shut down the whole grid. We have a full grid system where basically you can, take a side street and go around the crash and just keep on going about your day. So that's a cool fact about living in Tucson. But if you don't like freeway driving, Tucson is a great place for you to live. Which brings me to con number 4, which are the roads and infrastructure. But being very transparent, the roads in Tucson are not the best. It's a running joke in Tucson that if you drive over a pothole, it's a free chiropractic adjustment. You don't have to see the chiropractor because it's going to adjust you by itself. Tucson is actually ranked among the worst cities in Arizona for road quality, and there's actually a project on grant right now that's been going on for about a year and a half, 2 years, and if you live in Tucson, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's projected to finish in early 2026, so the light at the end of the tunnel is near for that project. But that basically, if you have not seen that, it looks like wide dirt road full of thousands of cones, and it's rocky and bumpy, and it's not a great situation right now, but it will be finished soon. Pro number 5, lifestyle and community. What makes Tucson really special is it becomes a small community. Even though it's a big city, over 1 million people within the metropolitan area and suburbs, you're really gonna get to know your neighbor, you're gonna get to know your small community that you live in. At the same time, you'll still get the big city perks like Costco, Whole Foods, and an international airport. The city is full of traditions as well. All Souls processions brings out over 100,000 people every fall to honor loved ones who have passed. That's particularly powerful and super unique to Tucson. We also have the Loop, which is the bike loop, which is miles and miles around Tucson that right along the wash that a lot of people love to enjoy and goes all the way up to Oro Valley. You have the local farmers markets. There's going to be a lot of local farmers markets. My favorite one is at the St. Philip's Plaza on Sunday mornings. We'll love to get flowers there. I love to get a local bagel there, bagel and coffee there on a Sunday morning, and also love the local pottery that a lot of vendors will bring as well that they build themselves. Con number 5, desert living adjustments. And desert life comes with its quirks, it comes with its wildlife, and you'll need to learn how to deal with the wildlife. So one particular animal that I haven't talked about yet on this channel are pack rats. I remember a couple years ago, a whole group of pack rats got into my dad's truck, chewed up the wires in his truck, and it's actually super common in Arizona. So it's one thing that you need to know how to deal with. So here's a local fun fact for you, but locals swear by leaving a little golf ball in the garage. Pack rats love taking small round objects and putting them in their nest. So if you see that golf ball go missing, you'll know that there are pack rats nearby, so you need to be careful of those. Also, javelinas. If you have a little garden, vegetation, even if you have a small dog, make sure you have a fence around it. Javelinas cannot jump, so make sure you have a fence around that area and you'll be fine. Coyotes as well. Coyotes can actually jump over those walls. Now, they're not going to get into your vegetation. They're not going to get into your gardens. You do want to be careful with your small dogs around coyotes. If you have a small dog, do not let your small dog into the backyard by themselves. Not a good idea. As well as hawks. So you have to be careful of hawks as well. You'll have big hawks in the desert that will just come and swoop down and take these small dogs. So if you have a small dog and you're moving to Tucson, make sure you are always with your small dog. Bigger dogs don't have too much of a hard time, but you'll still want to keep an eye on them. So that's the real breakdown. 5 pros and 5 cons of living in Tucson, with the sunshine, culture, and lifestyle that make it a hidden gem, plus the heat, roads, and quirks you'll want to prepare for before you move here. And if you're considering a move to Tucson, again, my name is Elijah Roth. I'm a local Tucson realtor in Tucson, born and raised in Tucson, Arizona. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in Tucson, if you're moving to Tucson, whether it's in 9 days or 9 months, please give me a call. My contact information is below here. Give me a call, shoot me a text. We love helping people relocate to our beautiful city of Tucson, Arizona. And we love helping first-time home buyers as well. And don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button below as well if you want to see more content videos on Tucson real estate and lifestyle. So I'll see you guys in the next one.